time you guys are seeing this live, but regardless of where you are in the world, bless up, bless up, bless up. It's the end of another day, guys, and I thought to myself, why not go live with my second most favorite people in the world, which is the Anderson's family gang. And today we're gonna have a little conversation. And the conversation that we're gonna have tonight is surrounded around how to budget as a newcomer in Canada. So if you guys are new here, my name is Dems, Jamaican immigrant who migrated to Canada now coming up on 6 years. And my background is in finance. I've worked in a number of different banks while I'm here in Canada, ranging from a number of different roles, from manager of customer experience to senior financial advisor. And what I usually find myself doing is is advising a lot of new immigrants so they can budget and save and actually set up themselves for success in Canada. So in today's live, I'm gonna take that conversation from in person to virtual, right? Let's give it a couple more minutes so that there more persons can join the live if it is that they see the notification I want to click on. But if you choose to click on, please, as soon as you get here, take a second to hit that like button. And if you want to have more of these conversations, please let me know in the chat and subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed already. Today is Wednesday, and in case you guys haven't noticed already, it's the second Wednesday of the year. Can you believe that? Already a week has passed since we have celebrated New Year's Day. So it simply means that time is waiting on none of us, and time is really running away, really showing up and showing out, because I can't believe that it was just last week, feeling like it was just yesterday, that it was New Year's Eve and we were celebrating all of the fun stuff that comes with celebrating and ringing in a new year. Now here we are, 1 week later, second Wednesday of the new year, and it simply means that we have to make a decision to change things, regardless of what that looks like for you. For me, of course, it's my whole health journey, trying to be a healthier version of myself, exercising more. Well, not exercising more because I wasn't exercising before, prior to the past 5.5 going 6 months. But now I've been consistently in the gym. I'm down almost 50 pounds. My goal is to continue this year and live a more healthier lifestyle, as you guys know, as well as to share a lot more content with you guys. If you guys are here and you haven't subscribed already, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button before we get into the conversation. Lisa, good night. Good night. How was your day today? Bless up all the persons who are on the live so far. We have 9 of you guys. I know it's probably late in some countries. It's now 7:45 here in Alberta, so it's not that late. So apologies if I'm disturbing your sleep, or if you are about to go to sleep and you see the notification come in. Thank you for clicking on it, right? So we're gonna have a very interesting conversation. We're gonna have a very interesting conversation tonight, and it's all around budgeting as a newcomer in Canada. Now, the past couple of videos that I've done, it kind of highlights some of the challenges that residents in Canada is facing. And by residents, I mean anybody who's living in Canada. So it doesn't matter your status. Could be an international student or a citizen, temporary foreign worker, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of challenges that a lot of persons are facing right now surrounding different aspects of society, right? But today, what I'm going to talk about is how do you budget as a newcomer in Canada? Oftentimes, I get the question, how much money do you need to migrate to Canada? So let me start by answering that question first. The truth of the matter is, there's no right or wrong answer for that question, in the sense that there's no money that's too much and there's no money that's too little. I've known quite a few persons who migrated with a lot of money and they still end up struggling. And I know persons who migrate with little to no money, like myself, and then end up still integrating and finding their feet. So the point of the matter is, it's all about the decisions that you make or that you choose to make. Now, budgeting starts by making the decision of where to live. Where you live in Canada makes a significant difference as to the amount of expenses that you will have to pay, the amount of expenses that you would incur, right? So you want to make sure first and foremost that you're choosing to live somewhere that is affordable. Always remember that when you choose to live in a big city, things are going to be more expensive. But of course, you probably have your money, you can probably afford it. But know that as a newcomer, it might be more difficult for you to get a job in the bigger city as a newcomer. So which means that the surplus funds that you came with, you might have to go into it, and then you're gonna realize that it's gonna be like going down way faster than you had imagined, that it's gonna be running out very quickly. Unless you have that Canadian income coming in to supplement your expenses, you're gonna find that your savings can be finished in a blink of an eye. So bear that in mind. So it's not just to look on the fact that things are more expensive, but look on the fact that it might be a little bit of a challenge for you to find that first job. I've heard of persons who have taken a couple months, and some persons even up to a year, while other persons it take a couple of weeks or even a couple of days. So it all depends on your own unique situation. So you want to start by doing those research at first to make sure that you are adequately planned and prepared for the cost of living for the city that you are going. The other thing I always advise newcomers to do is to live as basic as possible throughout your integration phase. So, for example, if you come with a lot of money, don't use that as a reason to say, hey, you're just gonna splurge and you're just gonna buy the expensive things, and you're just gonna do things the way oh, you're probably accustomed to doing it. But try to keep hold of that money as long as possible. Because the truth of the matter is, Canada is a very expensive country. And it's not if you're going to need that extra money, it's when. So try to live as basic as possible within those integrative or the period of time that you're integrating within the community. And what do I mean by when I say live as basic as possible? Now, depending on your status, your standard of living might be different. Say, for example, you are here as an international student. One of the things that I always advise international students to do is to not overcommit. Never overcommit. And I simply mean that if it is that you are here by yourself, get a one-bedroom apartment or a basement suite or something that you can be comfortable in, but you're not having to pay an exuberant amount of rent. For example, don't go get a 2-3 bedroom apartment. It's you alone. And even if you have your family with you, get the most basic accommodation that can comfortable house all of you guys. So it's probably a 2 or 3 bedroom depending on the size of your family. If you get that apartment to your liking, don't over furnish. Get the basic amenities. Now, this is Canada. And when you rent somewhere, you usually get the basic appliances like your fridge, a stove, and sometimes in-suite washer, in-suite dryer. Sometimes you have on-site washer and dryer, but oftentimes you have in-suite washer and dryer. And sometimes you get a microwave and a dishwasher. So the only thing you really need then is things to your convenience, like you need a bed, you probably need a TV, you probably need a table, and the little basic things that you need to survive. But don't over expense yourself by buying a lot of furniture, especially as an international student or even as a temporary foreign worker. I know it's nice. You want to furnish out a place, you want to feel comfortable, you want to look nice. However, bear in mind that one, as a temporary resident, your future is a bit unsecured. You don't know what the future holds for you. Meaning that your goal is to get permanent residency most of the time, but you don't know if you're going to get permanent residency in the city that you live. You probably have to move from one coast to the other coast to get it. You probably have to move from Ontario to Alberta, or from Alberta to New Brunswick, or from New Brunswick to Nova Scotia. You probably have to move around in pursuit of permanent residency. A lot of persons over-expense themselves by buying a lot of furniture in a temporary situation, and then when an opportunity comes and they have to move, then it's difficult for them to move because they end up now have to sell the furniture for little or nothing, or give away some of the stuff in a pursuit to just get back some of the money. But how about keep that money? Keep that money and then buy the basic things that you need, and then you survive, and then anywhere the opportunity comes, you're able to move. One of the things that newcomers do, especially temporary residents do, they overcommit to a particular city. Don't get vested. I always tell people that. Don't get vested. Be open for opportunities anywhere in Canada that can give you permanent residency. Because that is your goal. Your goal is not to be committed to a particular city. So don't grow roots. You're not a tree. Be flexible. Be willing to move and to adapt. Anyways, before I move on, let's touch base. Who is here right now? Drop a chat. Let me know that you're here. If you haven't subscribed already, take a second, hit that subscribe button. And there's 12 of you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here with me right now. I know it's late in a lot of countries, so I totally understand. But if you're here, just take a second to hit that like button. It really helps me out. And if you are interested in more conversations like these, let me know in the comment section, right? If you're here, just drop your name, where you're watching from, so we can have a little bit of a conversation in the chat box as well. If you guys have any tips to share as a newcomer that can benefit somebody else, also take the opportunity to do that as well. Very important. So as I was saying, don't overcommit, don't overvest yourself. You're not a tree, so don't grow roots. The other thing I also want to say to a newcomer is one of the best investment you can make is to invest in yourself to learn about the credit system in Canada. Canada is a country that operates a lot on your credit score and credit. Your credit can definitely determine where you live. Your credit can determine the type of job you get. Your credit can determine the kind of car you drive. Your credit determines pretty much your entire life in Canada. A lot of times, new immigrants come from countries that is not so sophisticated when it comes down to credit and credit management. So when they come to Canada and they realize that it's easy to get credit, a lot of persons over apply for different credits, and then they end up with a whole lot of credit, and then they abuse it, and then they damage their credit score from early on. Don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that trap. Now, the first thing I'd like to say is, in order to grow your credit as a newcomer, what I would suggest as a financial advisor is get a credit card. A lot of the banks have credit card for newcomers. So if you're an international student, you have international student credit cards. If you're a temporary foreign worker, you have credit card for newcomers. The limit is a little bit smaller, but don't get anything with a big limit. Your goal is to really and truly start building your credit. So get something with a manageable credit that you can manage adequately. Most banks, international students don't usually get more than $1,000, $500 to $1,000, and temporary foreign workers don't usually get more than $2,500, which I think is a good amount to start with if you're just trying to build your credit. Now, I have done videos on my channel before where I've shared tips and advice how to manage your credit card to increase your credit. So if you haven't seen one of those videos, take a second to go and check it out. It's really detailed and it shows you how to manage your credit card. Now, your credit card is one of the best way that you can build your credit because it shows that you are revolving. Like, credit card is what you call revolving credit. You pay it, you use it, you use it, you pay it, you use it, you pay it. A lot of persons will tell you that you can grow your credit by taking out a phone plan. But the truth of the matter is, you cannot grow your credit by taking out a phone plan. Your phone plan can damage your credit if it is that you don't make your phone payment. However, making your phone payments cannot increase your credit because it's not revolving, right? So your phone plan is a bill. Making your bill payments doesn't increase your credit, but not making your bill payments affects your credit. Make sense? Take a second to read that chat. So Virtual Girl says, as much as I love Canada, I prefer to visit than to live there. I love my Caribbean life. You know what, to each his own, Virtual Girl. I love Jamaica too, but like for different circumstances, we have to make decisions. A lot of persons make decisions based on what's best for them. And you know, if you're doing well back in your home country, then real and truly, then there's no need to migrate, right? Because most of us migrate because we want more opportunities. Simply mean that we were not all contented in the position that we were at home. So if you are, big congrats to that. So I was saying about bill payments doesn't affect your credit, doesn't increase your credit, but it affects your credit negatively if you don't make your bill payments on time. So make sure that you are managing your bill payments is the next tip that I'd like to say is, one of the worst thing a newcomer or anybody in Canada can do is to make their bills go to collections. When your bill goes to collections, it doesn't matter if it's $1 or 50 cents. As soon as it goes to collections, it's on your credit for up to 7 years. Yeah. So as best as possible, struggle and pay it. Talk to your debtors. Let them know that, hey, you know what? I'm struggling right now, but I will pay. Work out a payment plan if you have to. Work out a payment arrangement if you have to. But never let that go to collections. Because if it goes to collection, it will affect you in so many ways. Getting a mortgage, getting a car loan. Going to collections is almost like it doesn't matter. Bad credit, bad debt, and you don't want that. So don't ditch your, if you owe the bank and place and different places money, don't ditch them, but try to work out a payment plan or work out an avenue for you guys to come to a solution, right? So I mentioned a number of tips. Hopefully it's not flying over your head. One, live within your means. A big deal. A lot of time, new immigrants come to Canada and they are so caught up with living this Instagram lifestyle and this lifestyle that they are showing people back home that, hey, you know what? I'm now in Canada. I'm living the life, living la vida loca. So now they are buying expensive clothes. They are buying things that they don't need, but things that they want. And they're doing all of these things, even though it's their cash flow is not there to do it, but because they want to, flex and show off and stuff like that. Listen, this is Canada. This is Canada. And if you are in Canada, when I say this is Canada, off the bat, you guys understand what I'm saying. But if you're not in Canada, you might not understand. You see, in Canada, what I realize is that nobody don't really judge you based on if you go to the thrift store. Nobody don't really judge you based on if it is that you're living within your means. That is like kind of like a Caribbean thing and stuff like that. Everybody who I know, including myself and my family, we shop in a thrift store still. I've worked with persons who are senior positions in different organizations and they shop at the thrift store still. So I'm not saying that you necessarily have to shop at the thrift store, but I'm telling you the kind of society that this is. People more save their money to go on vacations and they save their money to invest and they save their money to spend on their family well-being. Not on clothes and fandangles that is real and truly irrelevant. So as a newcomer, you want to be smart. You want to be very strategic. You don't want to fall into the trap of keeping up with the Joneses. Take it from me. That happened to me with collections. It is not something you want happening to you. Exactly. Lauren Fellis says, nobody don't watch you. Nobody don't care up here. Nobody don't watch you. Nobody don't care up here. Exactly. The thing is, that is like a mindset that is like something that I personally had to get used to. Because coming from a culture like Jamaica, people watch what you drive, people watch where you live, people watch the kind of phone you have, people watch all kind of things like that. But when you come to Canada, and I'm not sure if it's just where I am at in Grand Prairie, you guys can let me know if it's the same in your city, in your community. But here in Grand Prairie, nobody don't care what you drive, really. Everybody shop at the same places. You have to go to Superstore, Costco, No Frills, Walmart. It's not like you have a premium creme de la creme supermarket that only the rich and famous goes to. Everybody goes to the same place. Everybody go. You might be in Goodwill or you're in Value Village and you're shopping and you see a coworker or you see somebody. Listen, nobody cares. People invest in things that can benefit them, like for example, investment and also travel. I realize that a lot of persons here, they like to travel and they save a lot towards that. And they don't spend so much money on like things that Caribbean people especially would spend money on. So come and relearn that entire dynamic. Unlearn all the things that we have been taught in our lives back then, where we have to like just like flex on our neighbor and try to keep up with the Joneses. Unlearn all of that. Or, ooh, me not shop at thrift store. Or, ooh, me not wear second hand. Or, ooh, listen, cut it out. 30, yeah, that's good. If Virtual Girl said, I keep saying there is no way on God's hurt that I will go into a foreign country where the exchange rate is high in my country and go to work and bad spend my money. Exactly. Good night from Trinidad. Bless up, bless up, bless up. I know that it's late a lot of places, so thank you guys for being here. If you take the time to be here, I'm going to ask you guys to just take a minute right now and double tap the screen if it is that you're watching from your phone, or just go ahead and give the video a like. Really appreciate it. Virtual Girl says, when I'm ready to go home, bank book half a fat. Lol. That's the thing. We come to Canada, or, well, in this case, I am in Canada, but let's be honest. If you're migrating from your home country to a different country, it's because you have goals that you want to reach. It's because you have things that you want to achieve in life. So, why do you want to go to a new country with the same mindset? Might as well stay in our home country. Because if you're gonna come with the same mindset where you're watching each other and you're judging each other, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and you're trying to do this and you're here to hustle. You're here to hustle and make life. That's why you're here. You're here to make a living that can change the trajectory of your entire family. Generational curses is what we're trying to break out here, right? So you can't have in the same old mindset. Thrift shop, nice boy. I'm telling you, like, well, we don't go to the thrift store as much as we used to, but when we just came to Canada, thrift store was our best friend. We were at the thrift store a lot because, like, for example, like winter gears and so many other stuff. Like the thrift store was where we shop and did a lot of stuff at the thrift store. And a lot of immigrants, not just from the Caribbean, but from right around the world, for some reason, don't like doing those things. And I don't know why. What I like about their people mind their business, what I like about it exactly. And nobody judge you based on where you work. It's all about just making money. It's all about just making money. It's all about just making money and spending wisely and all of those things. Now, I want to tell you guys another budgeting tip that I don't want this life to end before I share with you guys. If you're a newcomer in Canada, I want you guys to learn the difference between saving and investing, right? I want you guys to invest the time to learn the difference between saving and investing. Now, when you come, you're gonna have to open a bank account. A bank account is in Canada called a checking account, the one that you do your day-to-day banking with. You get your debit card, you swipe your card here, swipe your card there. That's called a checking account. In Jamaica, that would be called a savings account, the opposite, but that would be a day-to-day account. Here in Canada, you have also what is called a savings account, which is what you use to save. Normally, you get a little bit of interest on a savings account. Not much, but whatever interest you make on a savings account, it's taxable. Because this is Canada. Whatever income you earn is taxable. Now, that is if that's a savings account. Now, let's talk about investing. Now, one of the things that you want to learn, one of the account that you need to learn about is what is called a tax-free savings account, TFSA. Now, as a newcomer, you can absolutely open a tax-free savings account. Now, the tax-free savings account is exactly what it is. It is a savings account, and then whatever interest you generate within it, it's non-taxable. It's non-taxable. Unlike the regular savings account, if you earn $1 on it, you have to pay tax on it. With the tax-free savings account, it's non-taxable. Also, with a tax-free savings account, it's not necessarily a savings account, but it's an investment account. Because having a tax-free savings account, you are then able to invest your money in different vehicles. You can invest in mutual funds, which is when the bank takes you a little bit, invest it in the stock market, stocks, bonds, money market securities, and you generate interest on your money. Whatever interest you make is non-taxable. That comes with a risk. If you don't want to invest in mutual funds, you can invest in what is called a GIC, Guaranteed Investment Certificate. GICs are usually what we call fixed account back in Jamaica, within the tax-free savings account. So you can lock it in for 6 months, 1 year, 8 months, depending on the bank. You have different term. The term determines the interest, and you also have redeemable and non-redeemable, meaning what you can touch and what you can't touch. And then you have different, you can do self-directed investing within the tax-free savings account. So that's an investment thing. So you want to open a tax-free savings account for sure. And these accounts don't necessarily require you to put in any lump sum amount of money. You can do what is called a pre-authorized contribution. So as a newcomer, open a tax-free savings account. Follow me now, guys. And you are going to have to smash a like on the video for this right now. As a newcomer in Canada, the next time you go to the bank, tell them that you see this on YouTube and you want to learn more about it. open a tax-free savings account, right? Set up what is called a pre-authorized contribution, and you can start as little bit as $25 per month. So, or $25 per week, or $25 per every 2 weeks. And then all you need to do now is whenever you get pay, for example, you get pay every second Wednesday, you can tell the bank that, hey, here what, in this tax-free savings account, every second Wednesday, I want you to take out $50. That $50 comes out before you even see what your entire pay is, right? So that $50 goes into the tax-free savings account, and then you can say, hey, you're right, this $50, I want you to invest that in mutual funds. So every 2 weeks, you're putting $50 into your tax-free savings account, and it's going directly into mutual funds. And this is money that you don't even see because it comes out your account automatically as soon as you get paid. And then what happens is your $50 turn $100, $100 turn $150, and then it keeps compounding. You're investing in it, and it's also in the mutual funds, which means that as those stocks increase, your money is also increasing. So if you haven't taken anything else from this video right now, take the fact that you need to go and open a tax-free savings account, right? The thing is, with a tax-free savings account, you have a maximum annual contribution that you can make every year. Every year it changes, right? You want to know what that maximum contribution amount is for that year, and it's the same for everyone. Tax-free savings account contribution is the same for everyone. Now, definitely go and open a tax-free savings account. I don't want to confuse you guys in this video, so I'm not going to go too deep into other investment plans like your RRSP or anything like that. I'm just going to keep it at a tax-free savings account for now. Open a tax-free savings account, set up a pre-authorized contribution, have that money come out every time you get paid. Whatever you think you can afford, it compounds. It compounds. It goes into mutual funds, you forget about it, and it keeps compounding. And whatever interest you make on that money is non-taxable because it's in a tax-free savings account, right? So if you guys like that advice, like the life. If you guys like that advice, subscribe. Virtual Girl says, dollar store and thrift store will be my best friend. My money don't have pride. Exactly. Exactly. It's all about just living within your means and you'll be fine. Living within your means and you will be fine. Right? You have to be smart. You have to be smart in Canada, especially as a newcomer. You're learning about credit, you're learning about investing, you're learning about savings, you're learning about things that you probably have never learned about back in your home country. You didn't need to learn about it because you think that it's only for the rich and famous and only like certain persons can invest and all of these things. But in truth and in fact, you need to do these things if it is that you have goals of buying a house and really establishing yourself in Canada, right? So everything I'm telling you is the simple things you can do to build up yourself to get there as a newcomer, right? And it starts the first day you walk into the bank. It starts the first day you walk into the bank. The thing is, when you go into the bank, the advisor is going to offer you a credit card, but they're not going to tell you how to use the credit card. That onus is going to be on you to learn how to use that credit card. Learning the difference between your statement date and your payment date. Learning the difference of how important it is not to miss a payment. Learning the difference about how to increase your credit score using your credit card. And all of these things, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to do the research to make sure that you are covering all the bases, because nobody's going to hold your hand and tell you about it. The other thing is, you walk into a bank as a newcomer, nobody's going to really take the time to advise you about the things that I've just been advising you about. Even though they should. It's all about just profit. It's not over people, which is why when I was in banking, I really like the fact that I met a lot of newcomers and I was able to like advise a lot of newcomers on how to start their journey financially. Because how you start your financial journey in Canada can make or break you. It can take up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to recover from bad financial decisions. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right things off the bat as a newcomer in Canada that can set you up for success in the future. You have goals of buying a house, you have goals of buying a car, you have goals of traveling, you have goals of building a house back home, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you are doing the small things right now. Buy what you need and not what you want. As a temporary resident, don't over invest in in furniture and clothes and shoes and bag. I've seen it so many times. Don't overinvest in stuff like that. Be smart with your money. It doesn't matter how much money you come to Canada with. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It's not if you're going to need that money, it's when. So be smart. Keep it as long as possible. Invest it. Put it into a GIC, guaranteed investment certificate. Lock it in. If you come with a lot of money, lock it in. Lock it in, make some interest, and you live as basic as possible, just the same. Is it hard to open bank account like in Jamaica? Absolutely not. The only thing you need to open a bank account is an ID. And you can use your international passport as an ID. That's it, that's all. And a permanent address. Well, and an address. It doesn't have to be permanent. And an address. So you have an address, an ID. That's it. Account can be opened in 10 minutes. You don't have to sell a kidney or give your grandmother DNA like in many different Caribbean countries. I don't know why it's so hard to open a bank account in Jamaica and many other Caribbean countries. Here in Canada, I was very surprised. Bro, start taking calling. Absolutely, it's definitely it's funny that you mentioned that. It's funny that you mentioned that. Definitely it's on the agenda of things to do. We're working on getting some equipments to start doing that. So hopefully. But if you have a question in the meantime, drop it down. Or if you have advice that you'd like to share, drop it as well. But back to listen, it's very easy to open a bank account here in Canada. I was even very surprised how easy it was. Like when I just landed in Canada, the persons who we were staying with gave us like a lot of wrong information. They told us that we needed a job to get a bank account and all of those things. You don't even need a job to get a bank account. You just need an ID and your foreign passport can work and an address, right? Now, you don't have to have status in Canada to open a bank account in some banks. In some banks, you have to show them that you have status, like a work permit or a study permit or a permanent resident card. But for some banks, especially the banks that I've worked for, and if you guys been watching the channel, you guys should know which banks I've worked for. You can open an account even as a visitor in Canada. So that's how easy it is to open an account. Lol. Yeah. So definitely, if you guys have any other questions right now, we can probably go for another couple minutes. Any questions about finance in Canada, investing, building your credit, anything of that nature, drop it down, let me know. What is it like living in Grand Prairie for international students? No, I'm gonna be cautious in answering that question because I was talking to my wife not the other day, and what we were talking about was the fact that I graduated college in 2021. I left college in 2021. That's like 3 years ago. So it simply means that when I was an international student, a lot of things has changed since then. Now, when I was an international student, things were pretty, not gonna say easy, but accessible. In Grand Prairie, you were able to get a lot of part-time jobs. You were able to integrate, and Grand Prairie was a good place. But now, Grand Prairie is a lot more populated than it was back then. So it simply means that part-time job opportunities is a lot harder to come by, especially with the restrictions of only 24 hours or whatever it is right now. Even though back then we were only able to work 20 hours and we made it work, but there was a lot more jobs, so you could get a lot of options. But now, there's not a whole lot of part-time job opportunities, what I'm seeing. So if there's any international students who's on the live right now or will be watching after the fact, please let us know what it is like right now. Sherry Johnson says, not so in Jamaica. Oh, I absolutely remember Jamaica, like to open an account or to do any banking transaction in Jamaica is almost like they're doing you a favor. It's so easy to open a bank account. It's so easy to do these things here in Canada. And simple things like those make a big difference, right? So if you guys have any questions about, as I said, budgeting as a newcomer, whether investing or build your credit, this is where you ask it. And again, if you guys haven't known or didn't know, I am a registered mutual funds dealer. I was a senior financial advisor and many different roles in a bank. So yes, I am qualified to give you guys the advice. Can you provide any good apps to help with budgeting? I know about penny pinchers. Um, to be honest, I haven't really used a lot of budgeting apps, to be honest, so I'm not able to provide any advice where that is concerned. I only tell people like things that I do, which is just to make sure that you are balancing your income with your expenses, and try to make sure that your expenses is always less than your income. And then if you find where your expenses is exactly on par with your income, you need to reduce your expenses. And it doesn't matter what app you use, it's gonna come down back to the same thing. Make sure that your income outweigh your expense as best as possible. 100%. That's what my advice would be where that is concerned. We have 29 of you guys on the likes right on the live right now, and it's now 8:20 here in Alberta. So I'm sure it's a lot later in a lot of different countries. So thank you guys for being here. And I'm just asking for you guys to just hit that like button if you're here. Please, really helps me out. Makes a world of a difference. And subscribe if you like the conversation or if you like my vibe. Just let me know. Burudan says, what are some good things to invest in? As I mentioned, you want to open a tax-free savings account, and that's a good place to start. And the bank will invest your money for you in mutual funds if it is that you're not willing to do the learning that's needed. If you're willing to do the learning that's needed, you can do self-directing, and ETFs is a good way to start investing. Exchange traded funds. You want to make sure that you are researching the company, and you can start with investing in companies that you already use. Companies that you are using in your house, that you are using in a daily life. Start there. That's a good place to start. It's hard to get part-time jobs in most provinces. If you are already in Canada studying, it is very wise to apply to companies for summer jobs that support API. This will help after graduation. Solid tip, solid advice right there. Definitely. You are very smart and intelligent, young man. Thank you so much, virtual girl. So the thing is, one of the things that a lot of international students wait to do is to wait until they are close to graduation. They start to make those network and connections that they're going to need. But no, as soon as you hit your last semester, like for example, you are graduating or you're finishing in April, for example, you should be starting to make those connections from December, January. Start reaching out to those companies, introducing yourself, looking for those jobs, making those connections months before you get to that finish line. Don't wait, because the closer you wait, the harder it's going to be. So please be reaching out and making those connections. Solid advice. Thank you for sharing that. Are minimum age jobs like cleaners, etc., hard to come by in Grand Prairie? Minimum wage jobs? No, it's not hard. It's very easy. It's just that if you're most fast food restaurants like McDonald's, Burger King, all of those restaurants are always hiring. It's just that if you want specific jobs, it might be a little bit more difficult. But if you want job to put food on the table, there are a lot of places that's always hiring. You can walk in and walk out with a job, oftentimes. In almost all provinces, work is hard to come by right now. I have friends in Alberta, New Brunswick, etc. I am in Toronto, and it's hard. Loan, can I ask, are you planning on moving from Toronto, or are you planning on staying in Toronto? What's your feedback on Toronto as somebody who lives there? What is your feedback? What advice would you give to somebody who's thinking of moving to Toronto? Yard Boss Black says, Adams, is Uber a good part-time job for students? And what's the best way to get a car as a newcomer? I'll be at NLC in 2 weeks. Best way to get a car, let's start with that, is definitely to buy it upfront cash. Now, buy it upfront cash in the sense that you're not gonna get a fancy car for your first car in Canada. You're gonna get what we call a beaters, a car that do the job, point A to point B. You can save one $3,000, one $2,500, one $3,500, and you can get a beaters, right? Oftentimes, that is the best way to get it. Best case scenario, perfect world scenario. That's the best way to go. Is Uber a part-time job? Good part-time job here in for students? Yeah, I mean, like any job, as long as it's less than the 24 hours, when school is in session, I think it's a good part-time job, especially because you'll get tips as well. So that's a good place to start. Now, what I would like to say is that my first car in Canada was a Beetle, a buggy. Now, if you guys haven't seen that video where I shared my experience in buying my first car, I'll just give you guys a quick rundown. Now, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money to buy a car cash. So the advice that I'm giving you guys right now to buy a car cash, I wasn't able to do that. So what if you're not able to do that? Bearing in mind now that this was back in 2019. A lot of things were different back then. This is now 6 years in the future. In 2019, I needed a car for more than one reason. The number one reason why I needed a car was because we have Malika Jade. And of course, you guys know Malika is my daughter and she's delayed. We did not know what to expect in terms of winter. And at the time, Nats was working 3 jobs and it was very expensive to take bus and taxi here, there, and everywhere. So we needed a car because obviously getting a car would have made us save more money now. And we needed to take Malika to, at the time she was doing a program called Puff Program and she was going day home as well. So we made the sacrifice and we got a used car on credit. Now we look for the cheapest car on the lot. We look for the cheapest car on the lot. We weren't looking on like convenience, and we were not looking on what we prefer or what we didn't prefer. We just needed a car that could do the job. And there are many times I'm at stoplight in the buggy and people pull up beside me and they look in the car and be like, "Oh, that." I'm like, "I mean, man." So the point I'm trying to make is, in a perfect world, you can buy cash. But if you can't buy cash, sometimes you have to be creative, you have to be innovative and make it work, right? Job market heavily saturated in Toronto. I can imagine that. Virtual Girl says, do you think that data operations entry jobs will be easily available? Now, I can't say specifically what job would be easily available or not, but what I can say is that there are often times that like receptionists and admin jobs comes available pretty frequently, but it all depends on the market. Sometimes you have like a lot of job seekers. It all depends on the time. I realize that sometimes the winter months there's a lot more jobs available, and in the warmer summer months there's not many jobs available. So it depends on the time that you're looking for the jobs as well. What are good businesses to start in Canada as a newcomer? That's such a open-ended question, in the sense that any business is a good business to start as a newcomer. It depends on what type of business you are looking to start and what's your passion and what is your main goal, right? Now, a lot of people have been doing cleaning businesses, and a lot of immigrants choose to do cleaning business because it's very easy to start and it's very easy to operate, right? You just need a few mop and a few broom, a one vacuum here, literally, and 2 hands. And then you can start a cleaning business. So a whole lot of Filipinos have started cleaning businesses, and a whole lot of Caribbean immigrants and even African immigrants have started cleaning businesses. And then even a small city like Grand Prairie, you probably have 20, 25, 30 different cleaning businesses. So it's all depends on what you are looking to do, right? If you move into Toronto, come with money for a year. Make sure your first year school fee paid and you have rent for a year. Spending money for a year. That's crazy. That's crazy. Within your first year, especially if you come with family and have no other help, it will be a little tricky until your spouse get open work permit. Thanks, bro. Are you gonna be hosting any more Caribbean connections in GP soon? Definitely. We have big plans for this year for Caribbean Connections, the team, definitely. We will keep you guys posted. Definitely, we have some big plans for this year for sure, right? But Toronto sound tough. Let me ask you this then, Luan. What brought you to Toronto? What made you choose Toronto in the first place? Because I am sure that not only me, but there's many content creators on the internet been saying, avoid Toronto, avoid Vancouver. What made you still go there regardless? Let me know. And also, guys, if you're here, there's like 30 of you guys here right now. Please, smash a like on the live. Can I get at least 30 likes for the 30 persons that's here right now? And if you like the conversation, subscribe to the channel, show some love, let me know in the chat, right? If you want to see more of these kind of conversations as well, connect with me, let me know as well, and we can arrange to do more live. The program I'm doing, it was only available at the school there. Gotcha. And sometimes you just need a foot through the door, you know. Sometimes it's not always going to be a perfect start. Sometimes you need to go through the difficult part, and then, you know, it is what it is. But them's all in Alberta friends going through the same thing. But my question now is, Lorna, I bet you they're in Calgary. I can probably bet you the laptop that I'm reading your chat on right now that they're in Calgary or Edmonton. Where in Alberta are they? Let me know. Let me know. Where in Alberta are they? Friends in Edmonton and some in Red Deer. Okay, Red Deer is not so bad. And no, you don't need spending money for a year to be in Red Deer. You don't need spending money for a year to be in Red Deer. Red Deer is not that saturated. I know because I've been there a couple months ago, and I know a lot of persons who live in Red Deer. Red Deer is almost like a little bit bigger than Grand Prairie, and there's opportunities there as well. But Edmonton and Calgary, big city syndrome. That's what I call it. I call it the big city syndrome. How much of your friends are willing to move to Grand Prairie? Let me ask them that. Having a YouTube channel helped out a lot of students with a bit more income. Other than the fact that you don't really make a lot of money from YouTube unless you have a lot of subscribers and a whole lot of views. So like the average persons like me and like the small channel, we don't really make no money from YouTube. Not at all. Which is why we're constantly here begging you guys to tap the screen and subscribe. Because until you get there, you don't really make any money really from YouTube to supplement income per se. Unless you have like a big channel or a whole lot of views. And that's just how it is, right? But Loan, I'm still on your case. How much of your friends are willing to move to Grand Prairie? Or how much are you guys right here in the big city willing to move to a small city like Grand Prairie? Or do many of you guys have the big city syndrome as well? And we all know what the big city syndrome is. We fall into a big city. We like the amenities. We like the fact that there's so many things we can do. We like the fact that there's so many restaurants we can go to. There's social life is nice. Buildings are tall and it's pretty, and we take nice, beautiful photos and all of those things. But in a small town, there's nothing to do. It's pretty boring. Slow pace. Not many tall, glittering buildings. Snow like crazy. Big city syndrome. I know that there is no open spousal work permit available anymore, but my question is, can I still bring my family as an international student? It depends on the program you are doing. So there is still spousal open work permit allowed, but it depends on your level of studies that you're doing. I think if you're doing a master's or a PhD or bachelor's in a professional studies, you can still bring your family with you. Definitely. Yeah. So it's not 100% extinct. It's just limited to specific field of studies and level of studies. So if you're doing healthcare, I think you're also able to take your family and a number of different things. You probably want to do some more research to fact check that, but definitely it's not 100% extinct. It depends on your level of studies that you're pursuing and the study that you're pursuing as well. I'll be in Dawson Creek. Choose that to start. Oh, Dawson Creek is just like an hour and 20 minutes away from me, by the way. So we go to Dawson Creek at least once every year or twice every year. So if you're in Dawson Creek, as soon as it warms up, let's connect. Definitely let's connect because we go to Dawson Creek quite a lot every year. TM says, I have grown in the big city of Toronto. I want to make the move and the change, but my son's schooling is keeping me here. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Canada Elo says, I can attest to what Luan is saying, and it's not limited to Toronto. The issue arrives mainly from how competitive the job market is with finding part-time jobs. Part-time jobs is definitely hard to find. I know a lot of persons who have been having challenge with that, honestly. But again, Canada Elo, are we talking about the big city in in Alberta, in Toronto? Like, what are we talking about? The small cities as well? Or is it just specific to the big cities? Absolutely nothing but I'm at Tim Hortons. But at Tim Hortons. Absolutely nothing but at Tim Hortons. There we go. Saniki says, I like doing crafting like wall decor, some painting. Painting, do you think crafting sells in Canada? I think so. But it depends on where. It depends on where, but I think it will work. I think it will work. Because Canadians are usually very artsy. They like arts and culture a lot. So I think if the item is good, if the price is good, then you can definitely carve out a niche for yourself, right? Guys, do you like these kind of conversations? Let me know. It's now 2:09 here in Alberta, and I'm here on a live with you guys. So let me know if I'm talking about a topic that you guys are interested in learning more about, or if we're just blowing smoke. Let me know. Soon as school done, I am moving. Well, Grand Prairie is calling. But who to tell? Probably by the time you guys come to Grand Prairie, I'm no longer in Grand Prairie. I'm probably in Edmonton or Red Deer or one of those places. You might see me in Prairie Dems, love. Definitely. Depends on how soon. As I said, who to tell? Probably the big city is calling me. Very interesting topic. Keep them coming. Probably the big city is calling me. Who knows? Probably have to answer the call very soon. Int, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? We have 36 people on the live right now. That's crazy. It's now late night in many places. Thank you guys for chatting with me right now. Thank you guys for chatting with me right now. Appreciate it. Okay, let me catch up on some of these chat. If you guys are wondering where Nats is putting the girls to sleep. And she's probably in the live background loitering. Okay, I comment with my main channel and I realize the comment disappear. So I guess I'm blocked. No, there's nobody that's blocked on this channel. There's nobody that's blocked. There's nobody that's blocked. I don't block people, unfortunately. I should start blocking people, but no. I've never blocked a single person on this channel. You planning to move out of Grand Prairie? If the right opportunity comes. Innovative Lugan says, hey, I'm your fan and here in Dawson Creek. Big up Dawson Creek neighboring community. Closest BC city to us. Well, town. I don't think Dawson Creek is a city. But when we go to Dawson Creek, there's not usually a lot of things that we can do there. But we still go there for the drive. Good evening, everyone. More like good night. Chosen and anointed. Where is Dawson Creek? Dawson Creek is in British Columbia. It is located roughly 1 hour, 15 minutes outside of Grand Prairie, north of Grand Prairie. So, if we drive that way there. No, that's not north. That's west. I'm directionally challenged. North, south. I don't know. I'm directionally challenged, but it's west of Grand Prairie. 1 hour, 15 minutes. Closest British Columbia town to Grand Prairie. Hi from New Brunswick. Bless up New Brunswick in the house. Andre Hope says, checking in from Red Deer. Andre, bless up. Big up the Red Deer massive. So, Andre, I have Luan on the live right now. She says she has friends in Red Deer and they're finding it difficult to find work and stuff like that as well. Part-time work. I know, Andre, you guys are new there as well, a couple months now. Tell me, are you guys facing the same challenge in Red Deer? What is it like in Red Deer right now for a newcomer? Did you ever find the man that made more money for 7 years back home than 20? No, I'm still searching. I need a plug. So if anybody on the live right now know that guy, the closest lead I got was somebody who made a comment and said his accent sounded like a Bajan, like he's from Barbados. That's the closest lead I got. Because I want to know how he was able to go back to whatever Caribbean country he went back to And after 7 years, he's able to come back to Canada and buy 2 houses cash. I need the plug. I need the plug. So if you guys know that guy, don't know that gentleman, please let him know that we're searching for him. Because we need the plug. And of course, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you guys for subscribing to our channel. We have officially passed 15,000 subscribers, which is crazy for us to even think about. Because when we just start, I say I'm wearing my Jamaican non-band, always represent, regardless. We're there, see me, we're out here. When we started this channel, actually, we started this channel for 2 reasons. One, when we were coming to Canada, it was difficult for us to find information on YouTube or on the internet. A lot of persons were very sheltered in sharing information. They didn't want to share information. It's like they wanted to keep it for themselves. So we usually reach out to a lot of persons and ask a lot of questions like, how can we do this? How can we do that? And sometimes we get a little alpha answer here. We get a little cold answer there. And which is why I always have to shout out, as told by Canadian immigrants. Big up Christina, we turn friend now. And Christina was the only channel that I was able to watch and see what things was somewhat like here in Canada. And also, she was in Toronto. It's not a case where she was in Alberta or Grand Prairie. Because there was nothing over this side of the world at all. So we started this channel to give information, and which is why doing this channel now, we're now coming up on 4 years doing our, the Andersons, and since day one to now, we have consistently been giving information unfilteredly, because that is the mission, the mandate of our channel, to give information in every way, shape, or form, unfiltered, so persons can know exactly what's going on. The other reason why we started our channel was to share our own personal journey. Because before coming to Canada, we usually think that it was reserved for the rich and famous and the persons who have family in Canada. And, you know, like you have to be connected and it wasn't for everybody and stuff like that. So we wanted to share our journey as just regular simpletons, as just regular persons like many of you guys watching this right now, with no rich uncle, no rich auntie, not a bag of money, a matter of fact, no money. You guys know the story. And to show people that, listen, it can be done. If we do it, you can do it too. When we started the channel, it was just 2 subscribers, myself and Nuts. The first couple of videos that we posted, we got probably 5 views, 3 views, 2 views, and we kept at it. We kept consistent, we kept doing our thing, we kept doing our thing, we kept doing our thing. And then 2 subscribers turned to 5 subscribers, then turned to 10 subscribers, and stuff like that. So to be able to be here right now with 15,000 subscribers, even though in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's a drop in the bucket, but for us, it's a big deal because it simply means that we have reached 15,000 people around the world who see fit to click on that subscribe button. So I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's kind of crazy to even think that there's 15,000 people who watch our videos, subscribe to our channel. But cheers to 15 more. Cheers to 15 more. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 2025 is the year that we pass at least 50,000 subscribers. Do you guys believe that that can be done? Let me know if you guys think that can be done or not. Lisa Nation says, so why him come back? Lol. E. Stephania says, lol at Lisa. Canada Elo says, maybe he got the capital here to invest and start a few businesses back in his country, is my guessing. See, maybe. But whatever I did, I need a plug. When did you start your channel and how many subscribers have you gained since you opened the channel? I started the channel January 2020. That was when I started the channel. I created the channel. However, we didn't actually start posting on the channel consistently until probably January 2021. Thereabout. So probably 4 years ago was when we actually started posting consistently. Fall off here and there, but pretty much kept it consistent for the most part for the January 2021. And we started with 2 subscribers, myself and Nuts. And over the time, we only are 15,000 subscribers. As I said, that's just a drop in the bucket compared to many other channels. There are so many other channels that has so many more subscribers than us. But, you know, we're just in our own lane doing our own thing. What you guys get here right now is the same thing that you have always gotten here on our channel, information, and we share our journey unfilteredly. Nothing has changed. It's still us. Nothing has changed, right? So if you guys have been watching, other persons have been watching and them don't subscribe as well. And I believe that if everybody touches the subscribe button who watch our videos, we will be a lot further. But for some reason, we haven't gotten a video that motivates you to subscribe as yet. But we will find it. We will find that video that encourages you guys who have been watching and not subscribed to subscribe. I promise you, we will find it. Andre says, it can be challenging to get a job, but I think it's all over Canada. The limitations are based on the changes with the restricted amount of international persons that can be employed. Facts. Saniki says, congrats on your 15K. Saniki says, of course. That's a valid point, Andre. Saniki says, how does the taxes return part works in Canada with YouTube? Big thanks are going. Yes, it can be done. Big things are going. Yes, it can be done. So YouTube is a business. So if you're earning income from YouTube, my advice is to register it as a business and then file your tax return as a self-employed income, which would be in addition to your salary or your earned income. And then also, not only that you're showing earnings, but you're actually getting more tax deductions, because when you do a business from your home, you can claim a lot of things, like you can claim a portion of your rent or mortgage, you can claim a portion of your internet bill, you can claim a portion of your power bill, all the things you need to operate your business from home. So it's actually a win-win situation. Luan says, Andre, you're right. So, Luan, I take back my talk, because Andre is in Red Deer and he's actually saying the same thing that you're saying, that Toronto and Red Deer is almost on the same path. It's crazy to think that I've left school coming up on 4 years now. That's crazy. Did you file your taxes yourself or did you get help? So as I said, my job that I've done while in Canada, not now because I'm no longer in banking, but has prepared me to understand a lot about taxes and finances and credit and all those things. However, I use a company to file our taxes because we file taxes together as a family, Nats and myself. So we use a company, the same company we have used, and they're not getting a shout out. So I would have, if you want to know the company, message me and I'll tell you the company, but they're not getting any shout out. I'm done with that right now. We are 15,000 subscribers, so to get shout out, them have to come good. You guys know how it is. But the same company that we've used in 2021, 2019 or 2021, whenever we file our first taxes, is the same company that we use right now to do our taxes for us. Saniki says, okay, when I start getting paid, I will register my channel. Definitely. And in Alberta, it only costs you like $75 to register your business as a sole trader or as a sole proprietor. $75 in Alberta. Yeah, it's pressure now. I do think it will get easier. I think just overly saturated now. Oh, that's crazy. Overly saturated. There's a whole lot of immigrants. And there's a lot of gatekeeping as well. Let's be honest. I spoke about it in some videos ago. If you guys haven't seen that video, go and check it out. There's a whole lot of gatekeeping going on. Whole lot of gatekeeping. Okay. 3 years on YouTube is hard not to crack. Just have to be consistent. Yes, a whole heap of gatekeepers for sure. Whole heap of gatekeepers. Politics. If you're gonna be doing YouTube, just have to be consistent. Just try to be as consistent as possible and don't give up. Push through the dry phase. Just push through the dry phase and keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Even when you're not getting any interaction, you're not getting any views, just keep going, keep going, keep going. And keep true to yourself. A lot of persons lose them identity in pursuit of trying to get views and stuff like that. But keep your identity. You will attract the right people, right? Because if you guys have been here from day one, and I say this with absolute certainty, if you guys have been on our channel from day one when we have less than 50 subscribers, or if you have just joined the channel yesterday when we're over 15,000 subscribers, it's the same me. The same everything, like everything, nothing changed. Nothing changed. You guys can tell me if I'm lying. You guys can tell me if I'm lying. Dems, which year did you guys came to Canada? We came to Canada in 2019. I landed September 4th, 2019. And since I landed September 4th, 2019, we made a decision that we will not be going back to Jamaica until we became permanent residents. We became permanent residents January 2023. So this month, January, made it 2 years now since we are PR. And we still haven't been back to Jamaica yet, but it's loading. This is the year that we're going back to Jamaica. We spoke about that already. So, yeah. September 2019 was the last time I had Jamaican KFC. Last time I had the best patty in Jamaica, which is Tasty's Patty. Last time we had good old roast breadfruit. So many things that we miss about Jamaica, but it's coming. We're coming home. We're coming home this year for a visit. Not sure when yet though, but we'll keep you guys posted. Yard Boss Vlog says, what's the process of converting my Jamaican driver's license to Canada? It depends on the province. Now, I can speak about Alberta. In Alberta, you don't need a driver's abstract before coming here. The thing is, you have to do your knowledge test here in Alberta. If or when you pass the knowledge test, you get what is called a Class 7 license. The Class 7 license is equivalent to a learner's license. Once you get that Class 7 license, you are able to schedule a road test. Pass the road test, then you get your Class 5 license, which is equivalent to a general license. Now, if you have never have a driver's license before in your entire life, when you get that Class 7 license, you have to have it for at least 2 years before you can convert it to a Class 5. But if you already have your driver's license from Jamaica or a different country, you are able to convert that Class 7 immediately to a Class 5, subject you passing the road test. Pretty straightforward process. I'm not sure what it is like in any other province, unfortunately, but that's how it is in Alberta. I do DIYs and Lovecraft, and I will not change. Don't change. A lot of people start the pranks and whole lot of this and whole lot of that and whole lot of this and whole lot. Don't lose your identity. Keep your channel identity and carve out your niche and keep going and keep pushing, right? We literally, like, when you're doing YouTube, you have to understand that, listen, the right people watch your content. Because, like, Nats and I, we started our channel, and up to now we're at 15,000 subscribers, and I doubt most of our friends and families are even subscribers of our channel. It's strangers support you, right? And many of your friends won't even watch one of your videos. They're gonna tell you, hey, I'm so busy, or hey, I'm so this, or hey, I'm so that, and it's just how it is. You just have to keep going, and you will attract your niche. Keep going, keep consistent, and don't change. Don't change who you are. Don't start doing some little things where you say like people doing just to get views. Don't do it. Keep true to yourself. Listen says, so true. Chosen says, okay, nice. Listen says, and you're not going back with the 100? No, not at all, not at all, not at all. Saniki says, I came last year, July, I got my PR April. Congrats for that. Canada Elo says, how long did it take for you to repair your credit to good standing, and what advice would you give to a newcomer? So it took me probably, like, with discipline, you can repair your credit within 6 months. Let me say that. With discipline, you can repair your credit adequately within 6 months. But it took us probably a year. if I'm being honest, to get back to a point where we are comfortable. Because in truth and in fact, we were really over leveraged within our first couple of years, and then COVID-19 we landed September and then December COVID. Jeez, like what copies, yeah, like crosses. Nats got laid off from all our jobs and all sort of things. So we were really and truly going through like a lot of difficult patches within our first year in Canada. But notwithstanding, just keep strong. My best advice to any newcomer would be don't borrow more than you need. Right? Don't borrow more than you need. Don't borrow more than you can afford, and always live within your means. Don't overextend yourself. Keeping up with the Joneses is a real syndrome. Don't fall into that trap. Best advice ever. And no matter how much you earn, I'll give you a bonus one. It's not, we always hear the saying growing up as kids. It's not what you earn, it's what you save. 100% true. Regardless of what you're making, try to put away a little thing. If it's even $50 every 2 weeks, $25 every 2 weeks, pre-authorized contribution, put away something. Best advice ever. Andre says, the postal service strike and your license get all up, lol. Saniki says, I don't share my channel to friends nor family. Neither do I. Neither do I. In Toronto, you come with your Caribbean license and you do your G1 theory. And once you pass that, you do your G full license. Okay. Chosen90 says, in Manitoba, you do the knowledge test, then do the road test. Here they take your Jamaican driver's license away. So it's pretty much the same. Virtual Girl says, yes, I'm one of your new strangers from... Okay. Yes, I'm one of your new strangers from the day I was recommending your channel. I subscribe instantly. I love viewing family channels. There we go. Loanfel says, Saniki, you got your PR in a year. Can you give details? Innovative Lunga says, I have a YouTube channel and it has been there since 2012, but I have not seen the growth that most channels like yours experience. What is your most detailed advice to us who are discouraged? Okay, so the advice I'll give you is the advice that I was given, is to find a niche. So I'm not sure what your channel is about, if it's like on a specific focus or if it's like all over the place, I don't know. But assuming it's all over the place, find a niche. If it is that you have a niche, my advice would be to do content. Don't overthink it. A lot of times people overthink content by trying to make it as crisp and as pretty and as, you know. And I know, I am married. Like, Nancy's not gonna come into a video if she don't. She have to spend probably an hour in front of the mirror before she come into a video. While me, I don't business. I don't care. I just sit down and I just do a video. Sometimes you see me on like my ras. Am I like? Sometimes you see me and it seems like I'm just coming fresh out of a cave. And sometimes you see me and it look like I'm just coming from the barber. Because I don't really care. Because it's the substance that I'm giving. But a lot of persons, they take a lot of time to prepare for a video rather than to do the video. So my advice would definitely be do a video. Start with doing one video every week. Make a discipline and say, okay, then I'm gonna do one video in my niche every week. And then you gradually increase that, right? And keep doing it. And know also that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Right? It's just like losing weight or putting on weight. And because I'm on my own weight loss journey right now, and of course, guys, feel free to drop it in the comment section if it seems like I'm losing weight. I accept all those comments as well. I am on my own fitness journey right now, and when I go to the gym and I speak to people, one of the things that I constantly hear is, it's not going to happen overnight. You didn't put on weight overnight, so don't expect to lose weight overnight. It's the same thing with YouTube. Sometimes you post a video and you think the video is going to get millions or thousands of views, and then only 50 persons watch it. Only 10 persons watch it. That's okay. It's a marathon. Keep doing it. The more consistent you become, the more YouTube will start recommending your content to different parts of the platform, and other persons start watch it. And then once you niche down, people will start supporting your channel and your subscription count will grow. And you yourself will get more motivated and comfortable in front of the camera, because that is also a challenge. When I just started YouTube, I sounded like a robot. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming here. My name is Demar from Jamaica. No, I'm there. I'm a reason with you guys. And that takes years of practice and just actually getting comfortable in front of the camera. And the only way you can get comfortable in front of the camera is by going in front of the camera. So that's what I would suggest. Elby Child says, you said one thing that helped me a lot. Don't act like you are permanent when you're temporary. Exactly. Don't grow roots. You're not a tree. Be flexible. Be flexible. And your permanent residency status as a temporary resident is your number one priority. Don't feel like you're obligated to stay into a city. Go wherever it comes, go and get it. Go and get it. I always share your channel with persons who say they want to come to Canada. I can't explain to them, so I just send them over for more details. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I have a YouTube channel and I hardly post, but I'm getting new subscribers every day. I'm not monetized as yet, though. I have also exceeded the 1,000 subscribers. There you go. Let me subscribe to your channel right now. Let me subscribe to your channel right now. Is it Virtual Girl? Is that the name of the channel? Tell me. Let me see. Virtual. It's not coming up. What's the name of the channel? Tell me and I'll subscribe to the channel. And also, Saniki, what's the name of your channel as well? I'll subscribe to everybody who have a YouTube channel right now. Just let me know the name of your channel and I'll show some love. The Weekend Meltdown says, bless up, fam. Bless up, bless up, bless up. And Saniki, I see your weight loss and it's working. Don't stop what you're doing. Saniki DIY. Let me show some love right now. Let me see. S. Okay, I probably have to save these things and go back to it, but definitely I'm gonna show some love. Oh, there's a full stop. Okay, I was wondering. Innovate. Okay. That is that. Yeah. So definitely just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like just keep posting those content and be consistent and everything will pay off. Everything will pay off. Alrighty, so we have 32 guys right here, a few guys right here. Right now we only have 29 likes, so we just need 3 more likes and then we're gonna call it a night. Thank you guys so much for spending a part of your Wednesday night. It's the second Wednesday of 2025. Hopefully the first week of the year has been very good to you guys. And don't forget those New Year goals. Write it down. Write it down, guys. Write it down. Take it out your head. Put it on paper and work towards it. Split it up into monthly, quarterly, annually, right? Okay, journey with Amal. I see that. I see that. I see that. Write it down and split it up and achieve it little by little, because it's not a sprint. It's a marathon, right? Hopefully you guys got some good advice from tonight's live. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, this is the time I'm asking you guys kindly. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Really helps us out. Thank you for being an encouragement and motivation. Much appreciated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. We can't do it without you guys. I'm going to end it right here right now because Nats is probably wondering, when am I going to come? When am I going to come upstairs? So let me just end the live right here right now. I'm not trying to sleep in the doggos tonight. So thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.